Hey lovers, it's Miss Diva. So in case you slept through it, there is a major division underway right now between Colin Kaepernick, Jay-Z, and the NFL. Supporters of all three are majorly divided, and they have no idea I don't think the majority of them really understand all of what's going on. They just saw this whole division thing take place. And then they just immediately say, wait, I thought this was supposed to happen. And, this is supposed to happen. And everyone just started taking different sides. The majority seem to be truly upset right now on the fact that Jay-Z has done, we don't even know all the details of, some kind of deal with the NFL. And I bet you it's going to be for our better black good. But there are just people all over the place without even getting all of the facts and just upset because Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, Nessa, goes on a show and she's all upset and she feels that this is a slap against Colin Kaepernick. Kind of not really clear where Colin stands. Tweets are gonna kind of went out today, so it's almost clear where he stands, but he didn't really say, and he didn't call out Jay-Z, so he didn't really say the NFL, but is that a part of the NDA that he signed? Because you guys do remember that he did sit down and negotiate and talk with and make some kind of deal with the NFL. So what did that all involve, and how much can he really say? And is he using his girlfriend to speak his mind, or is his girlfriend speaking her mind without really consulting with what he really feels? So there's a lot of that we're going to talk about right now. Thanks for joining the show. Alrighty, you guys, you know what we do. So we're going to go over to all that are tuning in. If you're new to Ask Diva, thank you so much for joining the platform. For all that are previous listeners, thank you for supporting every show. And for those who do the listens on all the various platforms, from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, iHeartRadio, I think I named YouTube, and then the links do post up on Facebook and Twitter, wherever you are making sure that you are supporting from, and you are able to choose the platform that works best for you. Spotify, thank you so much. So whatever works for you, you listened, I appreciate you, and I have no complaints with what method you choose to tune in on this topic or any other topic that posts. So thank you so much for being a supporter of the Ask Diva, even if only for one episode. Hey, I'm trying to reach one listener, one reader at a time, right? We know the mission. I say it over and over all the time. So give me a moment, you guys. I think I forgot to do something here. All right, so we're good to go. So what I did was I placed the link up for those who like to participate if they choose to and chat with the Facebook. And if you do, then I'll go back every once in a while, and you know that I will, and take a look at your comments and whatever you choose to post. And I will make sure that I participate and share that dialogue with the listeners as well. So look here. So NFL player at that time, Colin Kaepernick, uses the platform, the field, to stand up for social injustice. At the time, the Black Lives Matter movement is just heavily underway. The media is covering it on levels that it's really not doing so much anymore, but it was really a lot of coverage. The protesters were really passionate at that time. Probably are still passionate. Like I said, when you're in one place, you may not be getting the same media coverage as another person may be getting in another place. So the passion may still be just as active, but it's not trending like it was at the time. So he felt passionate for whatever reason that he felt passionate, and he took a knee. But let me tell you something. Just like the Black Lives Matter movement, and just like when Colin took a knee, and then Take a Knee kind of went on its own and became a movement, and those against it tried to stand up and get a loud voice. Here's what happens all the time when we're talking about those who are by the majority responsible for the social injustice that we see every day. Right? So that whole white supremacist, racist movement and those who support that are by the majority responsible. And I'm going to read you something about that in just a moment so you can get an understanding of what I'm talking about. So they are by the majority responsible. They always come with a fixed rebuttal. So when it came to Black Lives Matter, they came with a fixed rebuttal. All lives matter. I did not say that all lives do not matter. That was not the point that any person with Black Lives Matter was making. They were simply saying, we need you guys to understand that Black Lives Matter too. So if the movement had added the TOO on there, would it have taken a different turn? I have no idea, because we're so far gone past what could have been. But Black Lives Matter too was the point all the way from the beginning of the movement. So the social injustice that we see all the time with black people being arrested more than white people for the similar, remember when they got on Twitter and said, this is what happens to me when I get arrested and I'm white, but that doesn't happen to black people. So actual everyday real people shared experiences, and you were able to see the obvious differences that do take place when it comes to the legal system and the justice system when it comes to black skin versus white skin, right? So there is an injustice that goes on. This is not a myth. These are things that you can pull up and you can lay it out. You can take a serial killer that's black and a serial killer that's white, and you will see the differences in the trials that take place. You can take a mass shooter that's white. Oh, we really don't have a mass shooter that's black to take, do we? So you can take a mass shooter that's white and does a major disruption, kills many, and gets arrested calmly and get taken to Burger King. You can take a black man that may pull a gun on somebody that pissed him off, and he gets beat to death and probably shot and killed. Or may just be selling some loosies, or may just be trying to sell some CDs outside of stores that don't allow it, or it may just be driving and smoke a cigarette and won't comply to the officer's demands, those that don't make it. Or it may just be barely moving in within seconds they get shot. Philando Castile, Tamir Rice. We were talking just a moment ago about Eric Garner. We're talking about Trayvon Martin. That still doesn't make sense to us. There is injustice that happens. You're talking about black men that take off running and cops are able to land 7+ shots in their back and kill them. And yet a white man will take off, jump on the hood of a car, beat the cop with a bat, and do all kind of stuff and just get arrested calmly without a scratch on their face. There is a difference in the system that we deal with in America. So yes, when these individuals stood up and said, hey, you guys, let's stand together and let's do Black Lives Matter, that mattered to us. That mattered to many of us that understood the injustice that happens in this system. And then you had individuals that had a problem with Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. But the first thing I said as a critical thinker, what is he taking a knee for? What was that about? Wow, whatever it was about, what a wonderful platform to use because it reaches millions. Let's hear from him. What was it about? First, he started out just not, wanting to put his hand right on his chest. Was that what happened in the beginning? So white people that are privileged, that tend to side with white supremacists without really admitting that they do, always change the subject and create a fixed rebuttal. So just like with Black Lives Matter, they created a fixed rebuttal, All Lives Matter, and tried to change the movement away from being about black lives that being treated unfairly and tried to make it seem like black people were saying only blacks matter. So they created All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter and all these other things that deflected from the original message with Black Lives Matter. They came and did the same thing with Colin Kaepernick when he took a knee. They said, he took a knee and disrespected the flag and our soldiers. I'm a United States military widow. He didn't disrespect my soldier in any form or fashion. Hashtag I stand with Cap. He didn't disrespect my soldier. He made a movement to say, I don't appreciate the social injustice that's happening. I want to bring awareness to this. I'm going to take a knee. You're going to ask me about it. The media is going to cover it. People are going to talk about it. And then we're going to put this on the stage and make a town hall across America about this subject that's being ignored. And so it still got ignored because too many tried to drown his voice with that take a knee movement and tried to make it about disrespect to the flag and the soldiers. And it was never that. It was never that. Never took it as disrespect. Military family never took it as disrespect at all. So there's too many people using that fixed rebuttal, which is meant to deflect away from the serious issues that has been done time and time again, that has always worked. And there's something that's going to have to happen to where you guys stop allowing that to work. Stop allowing the subject to change. So now we have this thing that happens with Jay-Z, and he does whatever it is. You guys haven't even let it unfold yet. You know, you haven't even let us find. Critical thinkers can't even get the deets because you guys are going on and on about Jay-Z versus Colin. So we haven't even found out what it is that Jay-Z is really doing with the NFL, but we know it's going to be for the greater good. So he makes whatever it is that he's about to partner with and deal with when it comes to the NFL. And I'm sure that it's going to highlight social injustice, which was the movement. And as he said, you know, I don't have anything against Colin. I'm doing my thing. Colin did his thing. And I'm telling you, how much further can we get with Take a Knee? They have a fixed rebuttal, people. They have a fixed rebuttal. They have already decided that it's disrespecting the flag and the soldiers. They know that that's not what it's about, but they are going to do that loudly, like they said, send her to jail about Hillary Clinton. They're going to do that loudly like they do about send her back when they know dang on well the things that they are saying are wrong. They will stand behind whatever it is that they're saying, and they refuse to move. So when someone has a fixed rebuttal, you have to change the strategy. And so sometimes the strategy changes the face. And let us not forget that Colin Kaepernick did do something with the NFL with some kind of NDA in place where he's not really talking to us about whether or not he settled for, I think even one media outlet said he did settle for an undisclosed amount of money. But with the NDA in place, we'll never find out. Right? So Colin did his thing. He went as far as he could go. Jay-Z is not stopping Colin from getting a job. Maybe what Jay-Z has underway is about getting Colin his job back, and maybe some other things will happen along the way. We don't know. You guys didn't even give it a minute. You heard Jay-Z talk to the NFL, and you just spazzed on us. You just went crazy. You didn't even give it a chance. Because why? Because his girlfriend misunderstood something? What? Did she have all the details? Was she in the boardroom? Was she in the meeting? Does she know everything that's involved? She went on a popular talk show, and you guys like to bandwagon jump, and so you thought, oh yeah, man, that's just go against Jay-Z. You're so ready to take down a black man, and not realizing that racists will jump into conversation with you, hiding and disguising themselves as pissed off black people, so that they can get you to go against the man that they're pissed off anyway, because this man has been named by Forbes as the first black hip-hop billionaire. So they already got issues with Jay-Z, right? It has nothing to do with Colin Kaepernick taking a knee or the NFL or any kind of social justice or lack thereof. They are simply pissed off because this man became the first black hip-hop billionaire, right? So that's what they have the issues about right now. So they'll jump on and pretend to be black people, and then you guys don't even research. You just say, oh, everybody pissed. Everybody mad. Let's be mad. And you just jump on the bandwagon without even realizing what's going on. Get the full details. Be a critical thinker. Try to find out more about what's going on. You can't just go and get pissed off. Me, I take a knee and stand with Cap. I definitely stand with him on the original reason why he took a knee in the first place. Social injustice. I also stand with Jay because I know Jay gonna always do something that benefits for the greater good. He has become a whole new human being. And with that, he's done positive things. This is the same man that's bringing all kind of wisdom into the black community and trying to encourage us to be at a better place and trying to show us how to fight the right way, not the ignorant way, and maybe make $1 or $2 in the process, right? So you can't go totally against the white man. I know the fools in Houston try to tell you that. What does that leader dude is in Houston that's always telling you to go anti-white? You can't. You can't. Not in a white America. White America still owns most of the banks, the stores, the retail, everything that's going on. White America still has that majority. So you can't slam them all. You're going to have to find a way to get along with them at some point. But you still can stand your ground and say, I refuse to stand with individuals that treat us badly, and I want change. And you can do all that, but you just can't go 100 against, because that's not going to get us anywhere. So let's find out, do a little critical thinking to find out what is it about. Right? Systemic racism. It's an escalation of systemic racism that was pulled up on when I was reading. And I thought, I like a lot of what I read, but I won't read you the whole article. But this is something that stood out. So it says, the video that was posted on the systemic racism talked about the drug arrests and the differences in the drug arrests with African Americans versus white. it drives home how racial disparities harm African Americans, right? So it talked about that, but this is something I wanted to read out loud. It said, did you know that over 40% of drug arrests are not for selling any drugs, but just for possession of marijuana? How? And that white and black Americans are about equally likely to use marijuana, but blacks are 3.7 more likely, social injustice, to be arrested for it. And that even if they don't get convicted of a crime, that arrest can stay on their record and affect their chances at good jobs, housing, and bank loans for the rest of their lives. AKA social injustice, like those things should not be allowed. And so I stand with Cap. And I stand with Jay-Z. I understand that both of them are going to do something different. Both of them are going to make something happen in different ways. But I'm telling you, the majority of the people against Take a Knee have already stood carefully with this fixed rebuttal, burning Kaepernick jerseys and calling out everyone that stands with the Take a Knee and trying to say that you're disrespecting soldiers and flags, which they know is a lie, which they know has nothing to do with the reason why the man took a knee in the first place. But they just have to stand with that because it's an easier way to deflect than to talk about the uncomfort of black people are treated differently when it comes to the judicial system. That's uncomfortable for white people that don't want to say that their people have done us badly when it comes to social justice or entirely lack thereof, right? So that's where we stand with that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Going to try to put a whole new voice to this on my other podcast that doesn't link to these. So I have to go over there and drop the same nuggets. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate wherever you are listening, trying to reach one listener. And if you're reading my books, one reader at a time. Thanks everybody for supporting Ask Diva, hashtag ASKDEEVA. Follow me on social media, Miss Diva for you, MZDEEVA, the number 4 and YOU.